Hey guys, welcome to this quick video about making a tree lamp tower. So we'll start off in Solidworks, new part. Start off on the top plane and we're gonna start with the first cup. So we'll do a radius of 70 millimeters. After that we'll extrude it to 15. And that will serve as our end cap. So now we're going to go to the front plane and draw out the shape of the lamp itself. So we'll just start with a simple line sketch and then we'll get it dimensioned. Right now I'm doing the outline. I'd say we'll do the thickness around 2 millimeters and then we'll use the revolve feature to create the shape. I'm just correcting here for a few, just to make it more accurate and represent better the finished product. On the other screen I had a picture of the structure of the lamp and I was trying to recreate it here in the sketch. So we'll have that thickness and we'll make it 2 millimeters. Just trying to delete that line and then create a new construction for the revolve. 2 millimeters is pretty good for see-through clear plastic textures, so we'll stay with that. Get all the edges, fully define the sketch, and we'll do a revolve feature. .30 millimeters away from the center. I'm just adding another lip here just to make it look better. I'm going to trim it out. And then dimension it as well so it doesn't change if we change any other parameters of sketch. Let's give it a revolve. And there we go. Just make sure it doesn't merge with the rest. We want to have a separate material for this part. Yay! Get the basic cup. So now we'll add the texture onto the cup itself. So I'm going to use the wrap feature to wrap around a few ridges. I'll just draw a couple simple rectangles. We'll get them to, I believe, 2 or 1 millimeter. We'll do it 2. And then from the top, we'll get 4 or 2 as well. Or maybe 3. So I'm just here to correct up. I noticed there that the cup extends a little bit as well for the next. It's modular, so you can have multiple lights. So I'm just adding a support, making them the same length as the bottom. And now I'm going to double save this project into the ground power. This is a part of a bigger project which I plan to follow up in later videos. I will be needing this tower light for later. So I'll take the array feature and then bring it down. Once we complete the sketch, we will wrap it around and then cut into it. Extruded cut, and that should give a pretty nice feature. It's all about the details at the end. The more details you have in your product, the more realistic it looks, and then better on your portfolio. So we exit out the sketch, we go into features, we wrap it around. Select the surface we want to wrap. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Usually when I wrap, it only does half of the object, but I found an easy way to fix it. I just go back to the same sketch and wrap it around again. I'm just here fixing up to 1mm. The ridges were a bit too big. So just double checking. We might adjust it slightly. I might add more ridges. I was double checking with the reference picture and definitely has more ridges. As you can see, you can easily adjust the feature, the array, by right-clicking on the properties. And here I'm back, wrapping again, and that should get the whole product wrapped. So for that, we'll do the middle. There's like a little section where the lamps are stuck to a little plastic square, I think, or metal square, and that's where the cables, wires run. So we'll extrude it to 30mm, make sure it's not merged. We want this as a separate part as well. Yeah, I'd say that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to hide the outer shape, and now I'm going to draw a singular light bulb, drawing a center line so I know I'm on the center. We'll start off with a circle. Around 4mm will be good. And then from the top, let's do 5. Features, extrude. We'll do a couple millimeters, and then we'll dome it so it looks more like a light bulb. I wasn't bothered looking for the dome feature, so I just press S on my keyboard and that opens up the little search bar beside your mouse. So that's pretty useful. And we're going to use the circular pattern to get the light bulb on the other corners. And that should easily work nicely. Let's fill it up a bit so it looks cleaner. I think I should have left out the bottom fillet, but we'll leave it for now. Add some more fillets around. You could go around and add fillets to every single edge, but I'd say it's more realistic if you leave out some edges, especially if there's contact. So there's one surface contacting another surface. Don't have a fillet on that. Make sure it's nice and flat. But when you have a corner that's sticking out, that could be filleted. That's how usually everyday items work. You don't stick 2 items with glue that one has a fillet on it. You don't get as much surface area. So now I'll be just drawing a little support. I saw the reference picture has nice support sticking out. The more details you add, better your product will look at the end. So I'm just adding a small support here. Negotiating what's the best length. And I'm just going to trim out the edges. Make everything else visible. I think later I discovered that you can make items or bodies appear and disappear by pressing tab and shift tab and roughly pointing with your mouse to the area where they should be. So it's gone off the center. I'm just going to do 2mm divided by 2 because 2 is the thickness and 2 is to get half. I'll get that extruded to the top surface. I'll just stick it here. It's going to be merged anyways. So time for the circular pattern, and I'd say we'll do 3 of these. Yes, that looks about right. No. We'll have to do the edge itself. We couldn't do the surface. yes, I'm pretty happy with the result. So there we go. We have the cup and the inner mechanism done. So time for the top. We'll do an end caps. So, but first I'll do the bottom cap or the bottom leg. So I'm just checking the height. We have roughly around 5mm. So on the bottom cap, I'll do around 5mm as well. I'm trying to offset. I'm using the mouse gestures. So if you want to do mouse gestures, you just press and hold right click. And then flick your mouse up, down, left, right, and it'll give you different features. You can adjust that in Solidworks settings underneath mouse gestures somewhere. If you do a Google search, you'll be able to find it. So I'm just here double checking around 5mm. Looks about right. Okay. I'm just going to rename the bodies now, so later when we're texturing it and saving as an assembly, it's going to be easier. Also, make sure when you're doing assemblies or drawing everything as one part but multiple bodies, please, just please don't be repeating yourself. Like here I could go out and draw another cup, draw another cup, draw another cup. I need like 3 or 4 of these cups for lights. But I'm not going to redraw them. I will later just copy and paste them again in the assembly. So now time for the leg. We'll do it on the right plane. Start off with a center line. It's going to be a revolve feature as well. I was trying to convert entities of the circular edge, but for some reason I have disabled the line highlight. That's something I'm going to have to figure out later. But for now I'll just draw around. And then I notice it sort of comes in and then goes down at an angle across, leaving space for electronics, and then down here for the leg. I'm going to later fix it with dimensions. So doing the base now. Set the height to 60mm. Obviously everything got shifted. We'll bring it back up again. Like that there was a mouse gesture as well. It's much quicker, much faster. Overall this drawing took me 45 minutes. It was quite short, nice project. 5mm for the base, and then we'll do the angle as well. So first I want to get the radius for the upper part of the leg, or the middle part I should say. We'll fix up this edge here as well. It's just the little details like the little chamfers and the fillets that really make your drawings pop out. We'll get that across, and then we'll get the middle, the upper part as well. I deleted the other one so I could have the dimension there. Time up for some 5mm fillets. And then we'll revolve the sketch. I had thin feature selected, but I didn't notice it, so I was trying to do the sketch again and again. Sometimes you just get funny situations like this in different programs. Eventually we'll figure out what's going on. I decided just to leave in the struggle, so you see that nothing's perfect. You always see these videos on the internet where, oh, everything works so perfectly fine, Solidworks never crashes, never doesn't have issues. And then I realized it has a thin feature, so I removed it. And it worked perfect. Probably the previous rotation feature I used had a thin feature, so that's why it got saved from previous. Here I'm just going to fix up the legs a little bit, the leg. Make it look a little bit better. So now we're going to prepare the plane for the hole. I'm just choosing the correct size. I think the image said M3s as well. So I put an M3. Then we move it out here. Unfortunately, for some reason, even though the normal of the plane itself was correct, the whole feature still wanted to draw holes in the wrong direction. So I'll be battling this for a couple minutes or 1 or 2 minutes as well. So now I'm just hiding away all the parts that could have been interfering. That was with tab here. So the previous one I right click hide, and the other ones I tabbed. So I'm going to try the feature again. And now we'll have a look at it. It's still going the wrong way. I'll probably do another plane and then try to aim it towards the plane. I'm not sure why it's going the wrong direction. It's probably something if I'd look around more, I'd figure out eventually. So I decided to go for the surface. But that means I won't have the nice countersink. So that's something, like I said before, I'll do with another surface. Just want to double check that it's on the center line. There we go. We have an M3 hole for the screw. There's just some thunderstorm in the background. So now I'm going to try and make a slot so that the screw sits nicely in the hole. So that's me trying to line the hole. Do it from the far side. As you can see, I'll be trying to have similar issue again. So I'll just, like I said, create another plane and then probably just feature it into the surface plane. Take the current plane and give it a couple of millimeters. A little bit more. Yeah, that seems about okay. Select the center and then down to the surface. I think I started to sketch on the wrong plane in the first place. I'll select the first plane and then I'll get it correct again. Just these little things that you have to get right with Solidworks. Or maybe actually any surface, I mean software. Pretty nice groove, so I'm just going to lower down a small bit, and then we'll use the circular feature, circular pattern to get it correct, and there we go. We have 4 holes to secure our lamp. We can show the all the parts with Shift Tab, and we'll resume this in assembly. There's it is. Project transparent. You can see looks pretty good. So I'm going to add a top cap, and then I'll move it into assembly. So I'll just split up this video and enjoy the rest. So we're nearly there. Slowly finishing up the assembly. Got all the lights finished. Just trying to get the light modules to assemble and align correctly. Now the end cap. And there we go. The lamp is finished. A little bit of texturing. Try to find the correct glass. Fortunately, there's no red or orange or any other, so I will have to just choose blue and the brown. It's pretty good. Most important that the red light is on top, the most important light. So the machine indicates straight away it needs your help. We'll add a few screws as well. I was trying to add the wrong type of screw. Let's look at this other one. Looks pretty good, but I don't think I liked it. I think I'll delete it because it does have the cosmetic view. So I'll add the screw again. This time, give it a nice schematic so it looks later good. And there we go.